down. So for a stall down to happen, if a player counts all the way up to stall 10, it is the t in 10 that forces that turnover to happen. They don't need to complete the word 10. Good cut there by the Misfit player, number 3. Looks for that cut to number 9, who is cutting under. Good swing around to 45. Oh, an unfortunate turn. A lot of these looks have been pretty good so far. It's just been the execution that just needs to be warmed up just a little bit. Of course, we've seen that this happens a lot in every sport. It's how you start. Sometimes it's like, take your time to warm up, get used to your new opponent, and then how you end the game is really what matters. So something here that Misfit is doing, they are running what's called a bracket. So it's still a person defense for the entire team, but the way a bracket works is instead of marking a person straight up, you have one player poaching the underspace, which means they're cutting off any passes that go under, and one person is poaching off in the deep space, which discourages the longer throws from happening, and Misfit has used that to great effect as they're able to score this first goal against Apex. At least the way I would look to attack a bracket is I want to see simultaneous attacks. And I want to see 2 players attack the exact same side, make that one person choose who to mark, which will leave the other person wide open, because if they just choose to stay in the middle of those 2 players, then essentially the thrower has 2 options. So once again, it's that idea of what are you willing to give and what are you willing to take away. With Misfit being up 1-0, of course, Misfit Women's was looking to compete for nationals in BCUCs, which means the kind of competition that they were used to have been more on the higher level, whereas with Apex being the little sibling team to Canyon Women's Ultimate, it's a little bit of a difference in their perspectives as players. But regardless, they all get to come out, they all get to play some Frisbee, and they all get to watch, learn from each other, and compete with each other at the end of the day. And also another thing that I am noticing now is that the heat is picking up. So with that also now starting to become much more of a factor as we are now later on into the day. Players will have to make sure that they keep themselves hydrated to make sure that they are still playing at the same capabilities. Because heat can play a really big factor, especially in sports. Big pull here from Misfit. We'll see what Apex makes of this offense. Looks like we're see if they run a little bit more of that bracket defense. So the handlers so far are being marked. And nope, it looks like we are running a pure person offense here, putting that pressure on Apex. And turnover there from Apex, which means Misfit gets to pick up. I think we are signaling Apex here to force flick. So once again, we talked about the idea of force home and force away versus force flick and force backhand. There will be left-handed players here, so if you try to say force flick on a left-handed player, they get the backhand throw available to them. Oh, good looks there for continuation opportunities, but couldn't quite finish that execution, which means Apex is going to get a shot here on offense. 44 is looking to make that proactive cut there right away. Looks off, but we have 24 here to get this pass off for that first underpass. Scanning the field to see what options are available. Nice upline pass there to number 44. A bit of a close cut there. Looking to clear right away. Oh, good try. A lot of these throws have been short. Sorry, they have been low. They have been sharp. Those are throws that are a little bit harder to catch. And usually when your receiver is on an island like that, you can afford to have it be a little bit more floaty. Good upline cut there by number 8. Good cut. And an equally good cut there at 44 to get that first pass off. Back to number 3, and 8 is off to the races. Big huck there. Oh, and an unfortunate turnover. Good. Those have been good. That has been a good sequence of passes though by Apex. Even though right now their executions have not yet completed as well as they would have liked, it's only going to be a matter of time before they get honed in on those passes. Misfit is also in that same boat, so it's going to be a battle of which team can hone in on their passes more. So far, Misfit has the lead, but still very early in the game and anything can happen. You can see number 17 is on an island once again. Oh, and good pressure there by Misfit to force that turnover. 17 was open there for quite a while. Good catch there on the sideline to number 66.
Jen, join the cutters.
Looks like Misfit's offense here is a vertical stack as well, so we're going to see how Apex positions themselves to make those open shots a little bit more challenging or discouraging for the Misfit players to take. Looking back there for a handler, 8 was close there. Nice break throw to number 66 down the field. They are now on the doorstep of the end zone. Let's see what it looks like. We have Misfit players signaling that vertical stack setup. Usually when you have 2 hands form a bit of a triangle on top of their heads, it means that they want a vertical stack setup, which means if you are not a handler, then you line up behind them. And then from then on, a sequence of plays can happen depending on what teams have practiced. Sometimes they'll start with a handler running upline. Sometimes they'll start with someone in the stack who is in the best position to make a play for the Frisbee. Sometimes they'll look for those matchups. Number 3 picking up the disc for Apex. Good swing there by number 11. And a Callahan for Misfit. Yep, looks like it's a Callahan there for Misfit. It's good closeout defense that Misfit is doing to force these turnovers. Definitely a little bit of decisiveness on the part of Apex because the throws that they have made, the looks have been very good. But a lot of those things is if you hesitate to make a couple of those passes, then defenders are going to use that as an opportunity to sort of hone in and force those passes to be harder to finish.
Honestly, I don't even think they ever practiced. Oh, what? Why is it streamed then? So I was like, I just get paid. Why not? You're just here to get the bill. I'm just here to operate a camera. I think you're going crazy. Wait, is that actually a water fountain?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going. What? Going where?
You know, sometimes I like seeing some of these pre-pool rituals that some teams do. Apex just opted to everyone clap their hands together for a bit of an auditory signal and then hand up. All right, got a swing there. Oh, good layout attempt there by Misfit for that block. Oh, good cover up on that second block there by 95. Now we have two picking up the disc for Misfit. Looks off that first pass there. Signals to cutter to clear deep. Oh, opts to go for that break shot to number 95, but tough to make those executions on those break throws. So a lot of players tend to try to find those easy passes, but sometimes depending on how well your defender uses that open space to force those shots to get harder and harder, then sometimes you might want to look for more of those break shot opportunities. Oh, good block there by Misfit. Way to not hold up until the disc hits the ground completely by number 2. Because just because you had a hand on the frisbee, if it doesn't hit the ground and it's caught by... Oh, break throw there to number 45. Great break shot there. Looks off that pass. Yeah, we got a signal player on the Misfit team to signal that. It's a bit of a high shot there. Apex has an opportunity to get that block, and she manages to force that turnover from Apex. That's number 10. Great positioning there. Even though she was behind the Misfit player, she was able to get her hands up in a way where she didn't commit a lot of contact. Good anticipation defense there by 45. Sometimes stall players, really good for offense, but also really good for defense. Just having those long limbs, can able to stretch far. I'm a little bit jealous, but it's what it is. It's another point there for Misfit. And with Misfit up 3-0, they are starting to crawl further ahead into the lead. The only reason why I say crawl is because it's not like it's been one-sided on both sides. Apex has had chances, they've had good looks on the field, and they've forced good turnovers. But with a team like Misfit, whose intentions going into the season was to work their way into the ranks of nationals, that's been the mindset and the mentality they've been working with all summer, and the coaches are very good at. But plenty of opportunity for players on both sides and different perspectives. It's a clear uphill battle to fight here, but they will do fine. They have been doing good things already on this field so far. It's like Misfit is preparing their wave into the dab. Oh, nope, they're opting to go for the clap across. All right, different ways of different pre-rituals going into their readiness to pull. I like it. I like the different ideas they have. Very creative. Keeps the game fun and very exciting. We have a bit of a roller this time as our pull, and the disc continues to gain yards on that one. Oh, a kick there from the Apex player. Reverses the roll the other way. We have 11 picking up the disc. This time Misfit is running a zone offense, or zone defense. So let's see what the Apex players make of this zone offense. Looks like they're finding some success getting that disc moving between their handlers. Looks like Apex is a lot more comfortable running this zone offense. An unfortunate pass there with the wind taking effect. You definitely want to have a lot of control on that disc, even if the disc is close to the ground, because the wind can play a factor on it, even if it is close to the ground, if there's not enough control put behind it. So Misfit gets another chance for a break point. Nice break around there, just past the head of number 21. This is why sometimes I like having those up calls be very amplified, even if you're not marking the frisbee, because of moments like that. And just a textbook offense there from Misfit for that point. Definitely looked like Apex was a lot more comfortable running that zone offense, just basing it off of those first few passes that they had. Depending on who you ask, especially on adults, I find that adults are very strong when it comes to person offense, but when it comes to zone offense, it becomes a little bit more of a different game. And Apex has called for this timeout, so we'll see what they make. Let's see what kind of adjustments that they're going to make going into this next point against Misfit. Heard and saw a couple of interesting things there. Number one was for a frisbee team, when they were trying to describe a certain way of playing defense positionally, they opted to use a whiteboard instead of a disc to throw. I would have loved to see them actually. I mean, it's not the same same shape as the frisbee, but it's the same geometrical structure in that you could throw it like a frisbee, I guess. So that's something I would have wanted to see. And number two, looks like Apex is making some positional adjustments on defense. So this idea of chasing your mark in frisbee, now something to point out in a frisbee field, it's a big field, even with just 7-on-7 players, which means plenty of space to use around the field. When you are on offense, when you are in defense and you are chasing a mark who is a lot faster, who is able to time their cuts very well, then you have to make some adjustments positionally. So if you can't outrun a certain player, then you need to make sure that you anticipate where they're cutting to and putting yourself in that position so you can discourage a throw that creates that momentum and force the line. That is the adjustment that Apex is looking to make on Misfit. So let's see if they can score their first point. And as someone who's played a lot of Frisbee, I've seen this happen continuous times. And as a coach, I always like to use this word of anticipation on defense to make sure that instead of stopping that first pass, especially if it's just a swing or a reset, you are stopping, encouraging that second pass from happening in motion, in flow. All right, looks like Misfit has gone back to their wave into the dab to signal the readiness to pull. And here we go. We have, looks like we're running person. Yeah, we are running a person defense here. Looks like we have one person who is wide open on the Frisbee, and a good look though regardless. Just a little bit more control on those throws. Sometimes that fundamental difference of how the skill of throws can make a difference between two teams, because decision making can be trained. Good block and read there by 77 on Apex to force the turnover. It just goes to show sort of the different perspectives that these teams have approached their summer season. A similar tactic before from Venus. This isn't a timeout because Misfit is getting their next line ready, but when Apex was describing a specific adjustment they wanted to make, they have all the players in Apex listening in on it instead of just the line, because it could apply to any one of them who could be on the field, whether it's this point or the point after that. So definitely different strategies, whether it's this point or the point after that. So definitely different strategies here that's being applied for sure. But of course, Misfit is kind of holding on at a comfortable lead right now. See how Apex fights back from this deficit. See if they can score their first point. So now here Apex is taking their time to put themselves into position to start this offense off, especially with Y44 is moving quite a bit on that sideline because she is in a little bit of a hot spot. Of course, the expectation here we see is that the disc is going to be dumped and swung first right away. There's the dump. There's the swing to number 3. Are we looking to complete the swing? Nope. Good anticipation by 77 to stop that swing off. Disc is in the air. Nice catch there by number 8. Jumping over to catch the Frisbee. Swings to number 3. Oh, good try on that find. That was a good find. All right, we have a force away here. 77 picking up the disc. We have 27 running a little bit of an ISO play to start. Oh, and a good recovery there to complete the catch and score the point for Misfit. And starting this next point, Misfit will be pulling once again to Apex with their, it's looking like their patented wave into the dab pre-pull ritual. First pass off right away to Apex there to number 11 right in the center. 45 is on her feet, putting pressure on any passes she might look for. And another turnover there by Apex. Got 45 there, picking up for Misfit. They've been, the score may look one-sided, but seeing how Apex has played, definitely had opportunities there to score a couple of points against Misfit. The tough part there, though, is finishing up there. Good forced turnover there by 55. Now Apex is back on O. Let's see what they can look to make on this next offensive possession here. Number 12 is running out deep. Opts to come under. Looks like they're running themselves a little bit of that horizontal play there, running the idea of diamond cuts, where one player cuts out to get that space open for another player to take advantage of and use, which leaves another space open, creates that dynamic flow of movement on the field. Yeah, good upline look once again. Wow, 45 is really trying to fight for those layout bids, but 11 is having her one step ahead on that jump. Good cut there. 11 gets the frisbee right back. Looks like their offense has become a little bit more composed, which is great to see. And it looks like they're kind of revolving that play around number 11. Oh, but an unfortunate turnover there. I did like those sequence of passes that I was seeing between the handlers there. So we have ourselves a force away as they are on the end zone. 45 is going right to work there. Fakes the reset cut. Oh, comes right back to make that swing. Looks down the field. 18 reverts right back to the stack. Oh, good swing across pass there from 45 to 15. Looks her off there on that up line, which makes her clears back into. This is some really good discipline here with the vertical stack. Is the plays are being done one at a time, and if they don't get that pass off, they clear right back into the stack, just for another person to take it again. And Misfit scores yet again. And we are at half, and we will use this time now to sponsor plug VC Ultimate, which has been producing the world's best ultimate apparel since 1998 locally in Canada. Find high quality gear at vcultimate.com. The battle here really for Misfit is them trying to find that first point, and by the looks of it, from the first point on offense that they got up until this point, they have slowly adapted their game to Misfit's style of defense, which is pretty much whoever 45 is marking is going to be doing quite a bit of work, which is what number 11 has done for Apex. And it's been good to see, but we'll see if they can slowly, or maybe a little bit faster on their progression, get it up there for that first point. But so far, I've seen good things from both sides. I think just watching Junior Ultimate, just in general, has been quite a fun thing to see. I've played in Junior Ultimate, coached Junior Ultimate, never commentated, so this is the first time I'm wearing this hat. But regardless, I am quite excited to see things from this perspective. It's very different. Apex is ready to go, and the pre-pull ritual I saw from them was clapping between their legs to the hand up. So I'm liking these different creative ways of signaling that they're ready to pull the frisbee and start this game off. But of course, considering they've started every point on offense, they haven't had an opportunity to show us what kind of creativity they have behind that pull. But hopefully, we'll see more of it in this game. And it's been quite tough, as much as calling the place and the strategy, just because I am on my own for a bit until the finals game. So if I couldn't do any shoutouts, it's my apologies. But still, regardless, hope you all enjoy still some pretty good ultimate here. Good pull there from Apex to start this point off. Misfits on offense to start this point. And looks like Apex is opting to run a zone defense here to start this point off. This is very interesting. Well, considering they've started all of their points on offense, it's been really hard to transition to zone defense on a turnover. But depending on which team you are in, sometimes it's a good idea to set those zone defense positions, even if you start on offense, because it means that you can call on a set when the disc is turned, if the disc is turned over for you to start on zone. Otherwise, you can just call to mark up. Nice find there down the middle from Misfit. And a big shot there from number 21 to 15. Oh, and a good layout attempt there. Looked like there was a little bit of hesitation on completing that launch off to layout. But definitely that commitment was there all the way through. Nice find by 11 there. Nice read. Opts to reset right back down.
No backhand! No backhand!
Yeah, looks like they're opting to force home, and a backhand is thrown there to 14. When you are forcing one side, you have to make sure it is committed to completely discourage that throw from happening, as it helps with the positioning of your teammates there, and a good block there by Misfit to force that turnover. And looks like Apex is on this zone. They're setting the zone defense again here. Looking to see where these mids position themselves on Apex to discourage any of those throws that can be thrown through or behind the cup there. Another find there from Misfit, and they are navigating through this zone into a big huck there. It looks like that's been the staple of their zone play, is the moment they break it through the cup. The moment they break it through the cup and into the mids, they have that deep player just running deep for that continuation into a big huck, and it's been very effective. Gotta love the creativity of some of these pre-pull rituals. This Misfit pulls out a little bit of a dance move there to signal their willingness, their readiness to pull. And here we go again for Apex starting on offense. Let's see what Misfit is opting to do here. We are looking at a zone defense situation here. We are going to probably see a couple more Apex handlers pulled back here. That throw was done right there. There were 3 Apex players right there. But sometimes when you throw it into a sea of bodies, even if they're your own teammates, it can be hard to communicate which of those players should secure that catch there. Oh, nice forced turnover there by Apex. And Misfit is looking to set up their zone once again. Number 10 picks up the disc for Apex. Into number 3, 277. Good swing combination there. Good break through the cup there. They are keeping this Misfit cup moving, or yeah, the cup for Misfit moving. So far, we've seen that when Apex gets put into a zone offense situation, they are good at navigating that frisbee around. It's the execution errors that really make the difference here for Apex and Misfit. And so far, Misfit has just been able to complete their executions a bit more in this game. Oh, good defense there by number 77 on Apex. Oh, good swing across there. Nice grab. We are seeing more strong sides here from Apex the more they get that frisbee moving. Seeing that they're getting more opportunities on offense here to just move that frisbee around and just toss. It's amazing to see how much they have done better as the more the game has gone on, even if the score doesn't reflect it. That is a good catch there by number 3, keeping that left foot in the field while they go for that catch. Oh, good block there by number 5. A very unexpected block there, but a block's a block, you know? Sometimes sacrificing your body doesn't just mean laying out. But the difference is a layout is intentional. A block with the head, maybe not so. Oh, here we go. A big shot here to number 5. Oh, it looked like she may have been trying to cut in, but it was a miscommunication there as the thrower opted to throw it deep. So we are seeing more and more on the arsenal of Apex here as they're getting it closer to the end zone for a score here. Just one defensive stop here and they have secured it. So now Apex is slowly encroaching on the doorstep of that end zone. Even though the turnover there happened, they are still on the doorstep of the end zone. All it takes is one big defensive stop here, and they are right back on the hunt. And they are hunting for that first point. But at the same time, Misfit can also look to just navigate down the field and just gain all those yards back that they've lost. And so far, that is exactly what they're doing.
Emily, great job, Emily. You're awesome. Stay with her. Good job, folks.
Apex's defense is tightening up here on Misfit. And looks like we are cut off that backhand for a bit to force that flick, which is now what they've done. They've managed to work it up past the halfway point. Oh, nice forced defense there by Apex to get that frisbee back. Number 3 has the disc in her hands. Number 8. 210. We have good swing action here happening. We have a couple of players running it deep. We've got some big shooters here for sure. Now that we've seen a couple of those passes. All right, 77 is scanning the field, looking for that reset option, which is available there for her. And we go around there as number 3 reads that on the D and puts the Misfit offense back into action. They're navigating their way here at a bit of a zigzag motion, which is really awesome to see. And Apex picks up number 10 with the disc, swings it around to 8. Oh, good recovery there by 77, and 21 is off to the races. Oh, that hunt. They're still on that hunt for that first point. Misfit is looking to work their way up from their own end zone again. Good first pass there from Misfit. Looks like they're timing their cuts there quite well. Number 18 there was open for a bit, but that window is very tiny, so it's a bit tough to make. Oh, that was a good, those were a good sequence of finds there. Just tough to secure that catch. Oh, nice break pass there, right away. Oh, good shot from number 3. Opts to go for that high pass there to number, oh, that is tough once again. They're so close, always on the hunt. You know, sometimes I like finding these little mini quests or mini stories inside of a game this big. Even though Misfit is up by a massive margin, the story of Apex looking for that first point of this game is always an amazing story. It's a feel-good story too, because it's seeing a lot of improvement on the defensive and offensive end for them, as they have managed to encroach on the front of the end zone to score quite a few times, and they have another opportunity here. Even though they're starting the disc from near halfway point, their ability to be able to really get close to that end zone has shown a great improvement from when they first started this game. Oh, good cut there by number 5 on Apex. Nice pass there to number 3 on the under. Opts to look the around, and they are still on the hunt. You know what? I'm getting a little bit invested in the storyline now. This has been quite a long point. I think this is the first point that I've seen so far today on this field where, I think this is the longest point I've seen so far on this field. And at a time where the sun has picked up and it's getting a lot hotter, it's going to be very... And you got the Misfit sideline now cheering on their teammates on the field to give that propel on offense. And Apex has another chance. They are still on the hunt. They are back on the hunt. 77 with the frisbee. It looks like they've picked up their composure. You can tell by the way they are faking and moving around that there is so much more intention now to score this point. Part of it could be because of the fatigue. Part of it is because they are on the hunt, and right now they are on the hunt to get back that offensive possession. Good slash cut there into the upline for an interception by number 8 on Apex. And the Apex is once again back on the hunt, and we have a big shot coming there, which is intercepted by Misfit. And a pickup and another shot there. Nice interception by number 3 on Apex. A lot of the action so far has been on the home side, directly right in front of the broadcasting tent. So this has been quite a long point so far. Looks like Apex is putting themselves back into a bit of a vertical stack there with number 3 running that upline. Good block there by number 18 to force that turnover. And 77 picks up for Misfit. 10 is marking flat. Oh, and a good forced throw there. If she had forced her home, then that shot could have been a little bit more smoother. But because she was flat marking, she did have a presence there. And Apex opts to take a time out.
Is it one timeout per half, or is it one timeout per game? Does anyone here know that answer? Is it one timeout per half or one timeout per game? Per half. Okay, we'll call a timeout there then. Okay, timeout called. What's the first call?
Great call there by Apex to call that timeout. So we'll see what adjustments they make here, especially for the Apex, who are now once again back on the hunt. It looks like Apex is setting up a vertical stack on the away side, which means there is plenty of space in the home side here too. For any player, is a big space in the home. So far, Apex has navigated the home side quite well, getting those passes off. Looking for that dump pass. Nice read there from number 3 on Misfit to force that turnover. And Misfit is back on the offense. We have one Misfit player right now who is open at the moment, but looks like number 3 has picked her up. Good find on there. And a big time throw from number 3, but it just missed its mark, which means Apex is once again back on the hunt. Three picks up for Apex. Scans the field, looks for different options available. Nice recovery there for number 10. Good anticipation on that pass. Gets it right to number 8. 10 is wide open once again. Would have loved to see a little bit of give-go action here between the two players, but that's all right. Ups to look for number 5. Oh, but it just missed its mark, and Misfit is back on offense. '77 picks up, scans the field in this vertical stack in the middle. Finds number 3. Number 3's been the initiate cutter for Misfit so far in this offense point. Off to number 7. Nice block there from Apex, and they are once again back on the hunt. This point has been very good in the eyes, at least for me, just looking at it for Apex, just because of how well and how many times they've gotten really close to the end zone, especially after finding those bigger range throws than the ones that they have been looking for. Oh, and intercepted there by number 3. Gives it to 18 for that up line for 77. Nice close-up D there from number 3 to discourage that throw, but a slash across for a pass gives Misfit that point. That was quite a fun point to look at because of how close Apex was to scoring their first point, which means they are still right back on the hunt. The hunt is not yet over for their first point. And coming off of this pull, once they are ready to go, Apex will be right back on the hunt for their first point. Something I like to see in that last point that would be good to see here for the rest of this game is just seeing Apex taking those bigger shots down the field, which is what found them a lot of success in that last point, and which is why they were able to get really close to the end zone a couple times there on offense. It's just the willingness to make those big shots. Even if they turned it over, they at least start on defense close to the end zone, so that all they can get is one big turnover, one big stop there on defense, and then they are right on the hunt there. Let's see what kind of pre-pull ritual Misfit is going to come up here. I think it could be the wave into the dab to signal their readiness to pull. There it is. Or it's the wave into the clap into the dab. And a pull there from Misfit. Let's see how Apex approaches this offense. Looks like we might be going into a person offense situation. 11 is left wide open there for a little bit. Good cut there by 44. Once again, wide open play. There, 17 with the frisbee there. Nice cut. Ooh, a big high throw there. Just a little bit slightly higher than the intended range. Brings Misfit right back into the offense. Oh, good throw there. Nice throw there. And recovery from 21. High throw for Misfit, and it is a point there for Misfit.
Yeah. Coach, let's just say that's last point. Okay, cool.
And right on time is the horn, which means the game is effectively over. It was quite a fun story there, seeing how close Apex was to scoring that first point, and I think that was the highlight of the whole game, even though for the players probably not so because of how tiring it was. But still, that was a fun game to cover. This has been Vortex Cup presented by Vancouver Ultimate. Find Ultimate programs for all ages and skill levels across Metro Vancouver at VOL.ca. Vancouver Ultimate would also like to thank their preferred apparel provider, VC Ultimate, as well as London Pub, East Van Brewing, Fiction Gloves, and the team that makes this broadcast happen. I've been Flo, and I'll see you all in the next broadcast.